Hey y'all, it's your girl Symone and welcome back to my channel. If y'all can see by the title, today's another story time. Before we get into this video, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give a girl a thumbs up, comment down below. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials, Instagram at Vivalayoshii, TikTok and Twitter at Lifewithsymone. Follow me on Snapchat at TheRealHM. I think it's TheReal_HM. But follow me there too and follow my business page at Brishari, y'all. I'm sorry I did not post on my birthday, y'all. My birthday week was so hectic and I had so much to do. So I'm sorry I didn't post. But y'all, if you follow me, then you see we had a motherfucking time. I wanted to post for y'all yesterday, but I'm just now recovering. Literally today is November the 11th. My party was on the 9th. I'm just now recovering. Like, I'm looking at the videos like, when the f did we do this? Y'all, stay tuned for that vlog. But anyway, let's get into this story. So y'all asked for more story times about rats, so here's one. And y'all, oh my god, it's so many stories like that I always thought like, oh, I'm not gonna tell this, I'm not gonna tell this, just because I used to just care about people's feelings and stuff like that. But now I'm just like, who cares? Like, I don't know. But I'm gonna tell this story because it's my story to tell. And it's one of them where y'all be like, damn, you just let rat play in your face so many times, dude. Is she blackmailing you? No, I don't know why. But let's get into it. This gonna be one of them where y'all gonna be like, what the fuck? Okay, let me just get into the story. So I was dealing with crazy at this time, and me and him, we had our little ups and downs situation, that. So anyway, me and Rat, like, this was after the whole Goofy thing. So after that situation happened, me and her didn't really talk for like a cool little minute. Then we ended up talking again. I forgot how we ended up talking. Like, one thing about it, she used to always like work her way back into my life. And I don't know why I would let her. A lot of times it would be because of her kids. And I would just be like, oh, you know, like, she'll have them call, like, you know, it'd be like little stuff like that. And I mentioned that before, but I used to let that girl work her way back into my life so many times. And clearly I didn't value myself either, because that's why I was letting like bad friendships happen, bad relationships happen. But you know, when you elevate and you start to like value yourself, you don't play none of that shit. Anyway, let me finish the story. So anyway, she somehow got back into my life, and that's around the time, remember when I told y'all how she was doing a weird stuff for her cousin, she'd go dance for him, all the other stuff. So this is around this time, right? So we already kind of like on speaking terms. You bring me back in your life and you showed me some strange ass shit like that. So she ended up calling me and she was just like, hey girl, like, what you doing tonight? I'm like, nothing, got nothing planned. So I didn't mind hanging out with her too, like I said, because I had a lot of stuff going on, and she was always a fun time, like fun to go hang out with. We always gonna do something. So when I was like, I don't got nothing planned, she was like, okay, I'm gonna come pull up on you. She was like, do you want to come with me to this little money play, and I'll give you some money just for coming with me or whatever. One thing about her, I don't know why she wanted to make it seem like she still do this to this day. I love to say to this day. Let me move this, because I'm thinking like, why do I have checkers on my shirt? So anyway, so she's still one of the people who makes it seem like on the internet like she still just got all this stuff going on in her life. She just like big banked up, all this other stuff like that. And it's like, we grown, who cares? Live your life, pay your bills, enjoy your family. That's all that matters. Stop trying to live for an image for other people. Like, who the fuck cares? Anyway, so she will always be like, she got money plays, and she used to make it seem like it was big money on the floor. Baby, it was nothing but chump change. So anyway, so she like, what, can I come with her? And it was just like something to do. So I'm like, all right, how we gonna get there? Because mind y'all, Rat ain't had no car. Yeah, but she know a lot of people, so she always be in the car with somebody. So she said her cousin was gonna come. So I'm like, okay. She was like, she's gonna have her cousin pick me up, and she's like, we're gonna go from there. So you hear him in the background. I was about to say something about him, because I was gonna say, girl, that one weird cousin you be dancing for, but I had something told me not to say it. Thankfully, because I was on speaker. I hate when somebody don't announce that I'm on speaker. But anyway, I was on speaker, and after she said she was gonna have him pick me up, he was in the background like, what's up, Symone? Yeah, we finna pull up, be ready to drink, because we got a bottle, all this other stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, see y'all soon, whatever. So I start getting ready or whatever. They eventually end up pulling up, calling me and told me that her and her freaky ass cousin is outside. So I'm like, all right, cool, let me get dressed. So I mean, let me go outside and put some shoes on. So I go outside. I'm wearing basic as fuck, because I was a real basic bitch. But nah, for real. But I go outside or whatever. So I go outside, and they outside turning up, like they already got the music loud. That's one thing about it. Nobody respected my grandparents' house at this point. Now that I think about it, because why is y'all pulling up? It ain't that late night, but the sun is down. But y'all pulling up, got the music up loud. She hop out the car and she start twerking. She got the bottle on her butt or whatever. So I go over there. I'm just start recording her for Snap, and I'm just like slapping her butt, like, hey, you know, doing the most. And I start going over there and twerking with her or whatever. So she putting a bottle on my butt, and I'm just like popping back. So her cousin ended up getting out the car, and he started recording us. I stopped dancing because I did have a boyfriend or whatever, and I don't want him to be like, well, I ain't know if he know anybody that this boy know or whatever, and they be like, damn, why is she over here twerking with a bottle on her ass for this freaky ass nigga? So, you know, I was just like, hey, chill out. I would never let him put me on nothing. And he'd be like, ain't nobody about to... Damn. Turn the sprinklers up. But anyway, he'd be like, ain't nobody finna record you. Like, ain't nobody finna put you on nothing or whatever like that. But he was the type of person, like, one time he had posted a picture of me and him. Like, you do too much. So anyway, I stopped dancing or whatever. So she was like, take a shot. Like, we finna take shots or whatever. So he like, yeah, you gotta catch up. We've been drinking the whole time. Anybody know one thing about me? I'ma drink my limit. Don't push me. So anyway, I took one shot. I'm like, I ain't trying to take too much shots because I'm trying to eat. And one thing about it, like, her cousin is going to buy us something to eat. So I'm like, I'm trying to eat. So I take a shot or whatever. And then she came over to me and she, like, whispered to me. Because, mind you, we taking it out the bottle. She came over to me, like, she hugged me. And she whispered to me, like, but walking away with me. And she was like, we not really finna get drunk for real. Not right now. She was like, we going to get his freaky ass drunk. She didn't say that. But she didn't call him that. She called him her cousin. She was like, we finna get him drunk and so we could take the car so I could go to my little play or whatever to do what she gotta do to get the money. One thing about it, her cousin used to be real cool, but clearly because they clearly was hunching, he would have a problem with certain stuff. Like certain stuff she would like keep from him. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Let's just keep going. So she like, we gonna get him drunk so that we could take the car or whatever. So I'm like, why don't you just ask him to take us? She like, girl, no, because he gonna be tripping or whatever. I'm like, oh, like, you don't want him to know what you doing? Because y'all remember I told y'all Rat used to sell that cootie cat for her baby daddy. So I'm like thinking like, oh, she don't want him to know what she doing or whatever like that. So she like, no, it's not that. And I'm just like, okay, whatever, right? So we go over there. He drinking. It didn't even matter. Nobody even needed to take a fake shot. She taking shots. He taking shots. I told them I'm cool because I want to eat. So we outside. They got the music playing, stuff like that. So I'm like, what we finna do? He like, okay, we could go grab something to eat and then we could go back to my house or whatever for the time being because we didn't have nowhere to go. Because he used to be like, can we come to your house? And I'm like, no. So we ended up hopping in the car. We went into some drive-through shit or whatever. And then we ended up pulling up to his spot, which I don't know. Anyway, so we ended up pulling up to his spot or whatever. And sometimes he'll be at the same spot and sometimes it'll be different. I don't know, like, who house this man will get the keys to, but shit, we be in there. So we ended up pulling up to his spot or whatever like that. He's still just turned up. We listening to music. We just dancing. It's not no weird dancing like that. We just dancing and stuff like that. And she, like, bent over, like, you know, twerking and stuff like that. And she started, like, patting her, you know, her kitty cat. And when he came over there and was like came over there and, like, gave it a pat, too, that's when I was just like, look, why did I need to be here for this? That's what I'm thinking in my head. Like, I don't know if she want me to just tell everybody about this. You want to tell everybody. No, I'm just kidding. But I really was confused because I'm like, why do you bring me along when you go do this shit? Like, y'all could in peace. I don't need to be here. But when he did that and like he seen how I looked at him and she got up and she's like, hey, what the fuck? Like, don't be touching me, you fucking weirdo. And he was like, oh God, I'm tripping. I thought that was Symone. Oh God, I'm faded right now. I can't even see. Boy, you could fucking see. He used to always brag, I got 20/20 vision. You could see, because it'd be like late night and we'd be like driving somewhere dark and he'd be like, I could see, I got 20/20. All of a sudden you don't know if okay, whatever, we don't look nothing alike. So anyway, so we just talking and stuff like that and he ended up going in the room. I don't know if he felt fake embarrassed because she called him out for touching what he already be touching. I don't know. So we sitting on the couch and we just talking or whatever. I'm still eating my fries and she just like, girl, I'm trying to dip off. Ask him if you could use his car. Her cousin liked me, so she would try to ask me to flirt with him or a little bit so that we could get stuff. But this is where it's not making no sense. Your cousin liked the both of us. You asked him to use his car. If he likes me, why would he let me use his car to go pull up on another nigga? Like, let's make it make sense. Come on, 5 + 5 don't equal 17, bitch. Let's be for real. So I'm like, he's not about to let me use his car or whatever like that. He gonna be like, where you trying to go? Mind you, it's late night, so it's not really nowhere we could go or whatever. So she was like, let's just say we going back to your house to go pick up something, or you gotta go take something to your grandma or something like that. So I'm like, well, I don't think that's gonna work because he's gonna anyway be like, he gotta he'll take us or something like that. He always just say little stuff like that. She was like, dang, I'm really trying to get this money. Like, the dude got like 200 for her. That's what she was saying or whatever like that. Look, one thing about me, I don't judge my friends or whatever. Don't put me in no weird situations without confirming if I'm okay with being there, one. And then two, like, I'm gonna support you. I don't judge. Look, if you gonna have this man lick peanut butter off the bottom of your feet, I do not care. But just let me know what I'm getting into, right? So I'm like, okay, well, like, what's like you finna go do, and where was you finna go? Because you asked me to take the car and I need to know like where we finna go and what's finna go down, because I don't need to walk into nothing and it be like, oh, why your friend still got her clothes on, like, you know what's finna go on. So she was like, oh, it's not like that, like, it's somebody I dealt with before, and yeah, this finna happen, this that and the third. She was like, but I wanted to pull up on my boo afterwards. So I'm like, oh, you got a boo? So I'm like, oh, you got a boo? So she like, yeah, I got me a new little boo. I want to go pull up on him or whatever. She's like, let me hit him up and tell him I'm with my homegirl and see if he got a homeboy for you, right? Mind y'all, like I said, I know y'all probably like you was with crazy, but if you new here, you got to catch up. If you been an OG, then you know that relationship with crazy was a fucking bamboozle. It was nothing. Like, for real. Like, if I wasn't with him, he was with somebody else that night. So me being with it wasn't real. So anyway, so she finna hit her boob. So I'm like, okay, who your boo? Like, where he from or whatever. Oh, I was gonna say where he from, but I ain't finna do too much. So she was like, he from such and such hood. So I'm like, oh my God. Like, I only talked to one person from that hood before. Like, so I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I don't really know too many people from that hood. Like, I know a few little people. So I'm like, do I know him? Like, you know, like, I'm trying to make sure this not the person that I used to deal with, homies or anybody like that. So she like, you're not gonna know none of his homeboys. Like, you're not gonna know none of them or whatever. So yeah, I'm like, okay. I'm like, but who your boo? Like, who your boo? She like, you gonna see, we gonna pull up on him or whatever. So like, you could meet him. So I'm just like, okay, cool, because you know that's what's up. Like, you got your new boo or whatever. So we just talking, and she's still trying to figure out. Her cousin never came back, so she was like, let's go check and see if he fell asleep, because if so, we could just go take the keys. So we like, all right, cool. So we ended up going up in the room. He knocked out. So I'm like, I'm not taking the car, you are, because this is your cousin, and even though I've been around him a few times, I don't know him like that to be just doing no shit like that. Like, you gonna take it? She's like, all right, no, cool, I'll drive. But I'm like, and even if we get caught, you're the driver. Like, don't try to turn it on me and be like, oh, she was on drive. No, we're not doing that. I'm gonna be for real. So she ended up grabbing the keys, and we trying to tiptoe out the house. Right when we was tiptoeing out the house, we see somebody walking up, like walking past the gate, but they walking up. So I'm like, what the fuck? So she like standing still, because I don't know why. Probably because we have been like a little bit of sipping or whatever, but we thinking like, oh my God, this person's about to get us. Like, we can't just go back in the house. The person looked real shady, and they had all black on a hoodie, and when they was walking up, they like put their hoodie on, so we couldn't really see what was going on. So the person started walking towards the gate, and we like just standing still on the porch. I don't know why. The porch light is off. The person walking in the gate, and next thing you know, I'm looking like, hold up, that person looked familiar. So he was like, what the fuck you doing? And tell me why the boy was rap baby daddy. Y'all remember the baby daddy that she was, yeah, the one she be selling that cat for, one of the baby daddies she had. So that one. So he like, what the fuck is you doing? So she like, what are you doing here? Like, what the fuck is you doing here? So I'm sitting here looking like, she know damn well her baby daddy's gonna come. Like, mind you, the hood she said her baby daddy ain't from there, but I'm like, she kind of weird. Like, is your baby daddy nigga who's finna pull up on? If so, say that. So anyway, so she like, and mind y'all, I talked to, never mind. So anyway, so she was just like, yeah, so I was gonna say I talked to one of her baby daddy friends, but it wasn't like, well, yeah, her baby daddy and Seven was like close friends. The boy named Seven, whatever. They so yeah, so he walking up, she was like, what are you doing? And she was like, I was gonna go leave, I'm about to go take Symone to go get something from her house. So he was like, Symone? And I was like, yeah, Symone. Mind you, I met her baby daddy a few times, but he act like he don't be I don't know. He used to be off lean so much that I thought he was just slow and didn't remember me. So every time I'd be like, yes, me, and he'd be like, I know who the fuck you are. And I'd be like, oh. So he was like, why are you here? Like, every time he see me with Rat, he'll always be like, why the fuck you hanging out with this bitch? Like, why? Not asking her why she hanging out with me. He'll ask me why I'm hanging out with her. I had to make it clear, because I don't want nobody to be like, why is her baby daddy calling you a bitch? No, he wasn't talking about me. He was talking about her. He'll always ask me like, why the fuck is you hanging out with this bitch? And I used to just laugh. I'm like, that's my friend. He'd be like, that's not your friend. Like, she's nobody's friend. And I used to just laugh, but he was dead ass serious. I should have listened to his high ass. So anyway, so she like, what are you doing here? So he was like, oh, I be crashing over here sometimes. Like, I be coming over here and just be like chilling and shit like that. Like, I be using the crib. He was like, why are you here? Because I was gonna have somebody pull up. Not this nigga be coming to your cousin's house and be having bitches pull up. So he's like, I'm finna have somebody pull up. So she's like, what the fuck? Who you finna have pull up over here? So he's like, don't worry about it. If I have somebody pull up, just don't say nothing. He was like, but y'all finna leave anyway, so how long y'all finna be gone? Weird. So she was all like, what the fuck? Like, oh no, like, you weird, like da-da-da. So now they getting into it or whatever like that, and he ended up pulling her by her hair and walking in the house. I guess it was too cold for him to have this conversation on the porch. So he pulled her by her hair, they walk in the house. So I go back in there with him. Shit, I guess. Mind you, I still got my food in my hands. So I'm like, now I'm just about to sit down and eat my food. So I go back over there, y'all, open up my chicken nuggets. Why this nigga come grab one, dip it in the sauce, and was like, yeah, so what the fuck you doing here? He was like, I didn't even know. They didn't even tell me you was here. So she was like, he didn't even tell me you was coming. He was like, he don't need to tell you I'm coming. I come when I want to. I got a key. Why is your baby daddy bullying your whole family? So he was like, I got a key. So she irritated. So he was like, yeah, go take Symone to do her shit, whatever. I'm not even finna be here long. What, y'all spend a night here? Like, so she's like, no, we finna take my freaky cousin car. She didn't call him her freaky cousin, but yeah. She's like, we finna take his car, so we gotta come back. So he like, Symone, what happened to your car? So I'm like, oh, long story. I just don't got it no more. Like, so he like, oh, okay. He was like, yeah, so, dang, so how long y'all think that's gonna take or whatever? He was like, I really don't care. Like, you not finna say nothing to no bitch I have up over here. He was like, you're not finna say shit to no bitch I got up over here, so I really don't care, but I'm just trying to see, like, how long you finna be gone. So she was like, oh, da-da-da-da. They going back and forth and all this other stuff. They used to do people together. So she like, oh, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Who is that? I'll take her from you, da-da-da-da. They just going back and forth about this. So I'm just sitting here like, am I gonna get this $20 from going with her or not? So, because y'all, she would claim, like, she would be the type to be like, oh, this person got $200 from me, and then she'll walk away with $60. Give my 10. Look, that shit wasn't even worth it. But anyway, so I'm standing there. They just going back and forth. The cousin ended up waking up. So he like, oh, bro, when you get here? He's like, I just got here, nigga. Why you didn't tell me this bitch was here? Talking about his baby mama. He like, why you didn't tell me this bitch was here? So he like, oh, bro, yeah, they came over here or whatever. It was drinking and stuff like that. So she was like, dang. So he was like, all right, well, they finna go anyway. He was like, I'm finna have, you know, that one girl I had over here the other day. He was like, I'm finna have her pull up with her homegirl. You want me, like, you cool with that? Like, you want her homegirl to come for you? So he was like, oh, yeah, she could come. So he's like, all right, they finna leave. So he was like, how y'all leaving? Like, somebody about to come get y'all? That's what the cousin asked. So I'm like, no. And then we kind of like staring at each other. And her baby daddy knew what's up too, because he was grimy as fuck as well. So he knew what was up. It's like, my homegirl gonna come get us or whatever. So he like, okay. So the baby daddy look, we all like looking at each other. It's like a three-way look. Like, I look at her baby daddy, he look at Rat, he look at me, I look at her. Cause we all know that we literally finna take his car. And when he caught on, like, oh, he don't know y'all finna take the car. He like, I ain't finna say shit, cause he really didn't want us there no way. So he's like, all right, I'm about to just lay down. Let me know when they come in the house. He's like, yeah, I got you, bro, I got you. So then we ended up leaving out the house. Like, we left. So she get in the car, she acting dumb as fuck, like she ain't never drove a car before. So she like, girl, I don't know, can you drive it? So I'm like, I really didn't want to drive y'all, because I ain't had a license. And the area we was in, like, I used to get put over by Crash a lot. That's why I didn't have a car to begin with no more. But yeah, so I'm like, nah, I'm not trying to drive, because I'm like, I don't want to get put over and I have to go to jail. Even though I used to always tell my grandpa I wanted to go to jail, but not today. So, and not anymore, y'all, not anymore. So anyway, we end up driving and we pulling up to this address. This house looks shady as fuck. First of all, I'm like, oh, is this the person's house? And she's like, yeah, this the address he gave me. Like, I never been here before, but this the address he gave me. So I'm like, where do you usually meet him at? So she's like, in the car. So I'm like, how do you know him? She's like, from the Blade. I'm like, well, why couldn't you just go on the Blade and meet him there? Like, and he pull up in the car like y'all usually do. She was like, because I'm not doing that. I was so irritated because I don't know. I didn't think she knew him for real anyway. But yeah, I was annoyed. She was like, if you don't want to come in, you don't have to. So I'm like, you never been in here before? She's like, no. I'm like, I guess I'll come with you or whatever like that. So we looking in the car. I'm trying to find something that I could like have for protection to help her out if something happened. I don't know. So anyway, the guy, he eventually ended up telling her to come to the door. He just kept flickering the lights in the living room. Mind you, it's dark as fuck. No lights on in the house, no porch light, no nothing. And he told her, like, come to the house. So she's like, I think I'm in front of the house. And he was like, flickering the lights and telling her, like, do she see him flickering the lights? So she like, yeah, can you come outside and get us? And he was like, just come to the house that the lights are flickering on. That's weird. So I'm like, that's so weird. Like, why can't he just come get us? And she was just like, I don't know, girl. Like, let's just go. And she kept telling me, you don't have to come in if you don't want to. But then I'm like, I don't want to sit on this street neither, because it was just really giving weird. So anyway, we ended up walking up to the house. He got us waited for a long ass time. Like, a long time. We standing out right there. So I'm like, knock on the door. She's like, he told me not to knock on the door. He said to just wait here, right? So y'all, we ended up walking in the house, and I'm like, hell no when we walked in this house. Because mind y'all, I know she knew this dude from wherever the fuck she knew him from, but I was like, hell nah. The fresh smell of Fabuloso and the family photos just threw me for a loop, because I said, what the fuck? Men ain't shit. Because why the fuck is you having this bitch coming to your home? I'm like, I want to go back in the car, because what the fuck is going on? So I'm looking, at the picture, mind you, he never turned around. Like, he's literally, we're following him. And I was like, Rat, you and me staying here, like in the living room or whatever. So we following him. And he just like, come on. He never turned around, right? And I'm looking at the pictures because I want to identify everybody in his photos. I'm like, oh, hell no. We finally walked to like this back den area. He turned around. Y'all, he's not the daddy. I'm like, oh, thank God. He's one of the, like the son in the photo. Because I was about to say. So I'm guessing his people wasn't there or whatever. So he like, oh, what's up? Like saying what's up to her. And he tried to pass her a beer. And he probably passed me one. I'm like, I don't drink Corollas. So anyway, he just talking to her or whatever. And she like, how you been? He like, I ain't seen you in a while. Da da da. They just talking. And I'm just sitting here on my phone like this, like, could she hurry up? Like, it's too much small talk. Y'all know why you both know why you're here. She know why she's here. You know why you're here. Come on now, y'all get to it. So they just sitting there. It took like 10 minutes. I finally text her like, when y'all gonna do it? Like, cause I'm ready to go. We didn't come over here to kick it with him. So eventually she was like, I'll be right back. And they end up going somewhere else. And I guess they went to do or whatever. I'm trying to skip through the channels, but I couldn't find none because they ain't had no cable. So I was like, hey, fuck it. I just put it on some random ass shit. TV started staticking at some point and just tuned out that I didn't even really care to pay attention. So eventually she ended up coming back. One thing about her, I'm like, damn, I know that's why she don't be making money like that, because you don't make this come fast enough. Yeah, I said it. I'm just kidding. I don't know if you go on rounds with your tricks or whatever, but like you take a long time. And look, not saying she take a long time. And I used to be like, damn, I don't know, because you know that's not my field of work, so I don't really know how that works out. But like, she taking a while. Like, I don't know, I'm just thinking like maybe she could make more money if she was a little quicker. But hey, maybe they're going around. So she finally came out and she's like, all right, come on, let's go. So I just walk with her or whatever and we leave to the car. I'm like, damn girl, that took so fucking long. And she was like, yeah, no, because he be wanting like this, that, and the third and all this other stuff like that. So I was like, oh, okay, but that was a long ass time. So she was like, right now my boo not answering the phone. Like, he mad. He's saying like I'm on some weird shit or whatever. So I'm like, dang. So I asked her, I'm like, do he know like you be doing what you be doing? So she was like, it ain't none of his business for real. Like, it ain't none of his business like what I be doing for real. So she's like, he not answering. So she kept just trying to text him, whatever. He not answering the phone. So I'm like, I don't want to sit right here on this street. This street was weird as fuck. So I'm like, can we move from right here? So I don't know why our wise idea, instead of going back to her cousin's house, which makes sense though, because he probably would have caught us without having his car and being mad. So we ended up going back to my house, whatever. So we at my house and we sitting in like outside the driveway in the car. So she trying to call him and text him. He not answering the phone, nothing like that. I'm just like, dang, all right, well, we might as well just go back to your cousin's house then. But I wanted to stay home. I ain't even gonna lie, because I'm like, it's too much going on at her cousin's house. Her angry ass fucking baby daddy is there. He no telling who he had pull up. And her cousin there, I don't know what's finna go on in this house. So, you know, but I didn't want her to drive back by herself because she literally could not fucking drive for real. So I'm like, dang, all right, what we gonna do? So she was like, I guess we could just go back because he ain't answering the phone or whatever like that. So I was like, dang. I was like, where he be at? Let's just go pull up on him. That's when I was on my like crazy air, like, let's just go pull up on him. I'm like, you know where he be at? She's like, I do know where he be at, but I ain't even finna do that. So she was like, she turned to me and she's like, do you remember Kelly? So I was like, oh yeah, Kelly. Yeah, I remember her. But I'm thinking like, why she asked me about Kelly? Mind you, I knew she knew Kelly because Rat knew everybody. So she like, you remember Kelly? So I'm like, yeah, I remember Kelly or whatever. And she was like, girl, I was seeing her like when I was outside, you know, like on the streets when she was on Fig and shit. She was like, I was seeing Kelly out there a lot. So I was like, oh, that's cool or whatever. She was like, you still got beef for her? I'm like, no. Because at this point, me and Enemy had broke up like long time ago. I'm already dating Crazy. I done dated so many people between Crazy in my relationship, you know. So like, I'm not worried about her. Like, that's old news. I got a whole new set of bitches I'm beefing with. Like, I'm not worried about Kelly no more. So I'm like, I'm not worried about her. I'm like, and I'm talking to her, I'm like, honestly, she did me a favor. I'm like, because Enemy was weird and that wasn't somebody meant for me, and he had a problem, you know, because he was on that shit tough. So I'm like, he had an issue. I'm like, that's not something I really wanted to deal with. I'm like, even though I'm not dealing with nothing better right now. So we started laughing. She's like, yeah, but she's like, you would never like talk to him ever again? I was like, no, I would never deal with Enemy again. Like, he's weird as hell. So she had asked me like when the last time I talked to him. So I was like, when I be posting pictures, he be hitting me up and be trying to say little stuff like that. I was like, and when I had got in my relationship with Crazy and when I used to post Crazy and stuff, I'm like, he used to say little stuff like that. But I'm like, at this point, I haven't talked to him in a cool little minute. But I'm like, he always got something to say. I was like, you know what's crazy that you asked me about him? So she was like, what? I was like, literally like yesterday he slid in my DM, but I left him on scene. Like, I didn't say shit back to him. I was like, because I was with Crazy and I just don't be responding no way. But yeah, Crazy had seen it, was like, what the fuck, he still be hitting you up? And I'm like, right, I do not respond to him. So she's like, yesterday? I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's so crazy. Like, he's still hitting you up. Like, that's so crazy. Like, it's been a while. Mind you, at this point, me and Crazy have been dealing with each other for almost 2 years at this point. It's weird that I was dealing with that man for that long. So she just like, damn, that's crazy. Like, he hit you up. She's like, he still be trying to talk to you. That's crazy. Like, niggas never move on for real. So I'm like, right. But when we talking, she started like texting and stuff like that. She was like, but yeah, I'm trying to see where this nigga at, because I'm really trying to pull up on him for real. Like, he making me mad. She was like, honestly, she was like, I'm about to just go F my baby daddy tonight because he on some weird shit. So I'm like, girl, your baby daddy got bitches at the house. Like, like, we might as well just stay here. So she's like, I'm not worried about that. She was like, I'm not worried about that. She's like, but yeah, all of a sudden she just so mad at her new dude. And I'm like, I'm like, it's because he not answering the phone or whatever. And yeah, but you took too long, I guess. So she was irritated or whatever. So finally, he ended up calling her. Like, next thing you know, her phone started ringing, literally. Like, I'm like, damn, we spoke him up. She's like, girl, right, that's him calling. And it was stored under, like, daddy or some shit like that. So she answered the phone. She's like, hello? Mind you, she didn't put it on speaker and then like that. She put it to her ear. So she like, hello? And I'm thinking like, oh, she put it to her ear because she don't want to be embarrassed when he be cussing her out or whatever. I don't know. But I already just seen you get cussed out earlier. So anyway, so she talking to him or whatever. She like, yeah, I'm with my homegirl. We're gonna pull up on you or whatever like that. So she like, Symone. Yeah. And then I'm thinking like, why is she addressing me like that? Like, why is she not saying my homegirl Symone? So she like, yeah, Symone. So she was like, we at her house right now. So she was like, she looked at me and she was like, girl, why are you trying to pull up over here? So I was like, he ain't gonna pull up over here. So she was like, yeah, we at her house right now. And I was like, nah, he cannot pull up over here. Because one thing about it, like I told y'all, Crazy, I don't know. Crazy could be with a bitch and on his way to his house, he's still gonna drive, because he didn't live that far from me. He'll still drive past mine with a bitch in the car and just trying to see what I got going on. And if I got something going on, I don't know what he gonna go do with that girl to irritate my life. So anyway, I'm like, nah, he can't come pull up over here. So she like, yeah, nah. She said you can't pull up over here because her nigga be tripping or whatever like that. So she was like, what? Like, boy, you got me fucked up. So now she cussing him out. So I'm thinking like, what is he saying? And I'm like tapping her like, what did he say? Because why did you say he got you fucked up? And she like, yeah, okay, and yes, and that's her nigga, she love him. Da-da-da-da-da. So they getting into it. So she was like, what the fuck? She do not want to talk to you. She don't want to get on the phone. No, she not getting on the phone. She don't want to get on the phone. So I'm like, me get on the phone? So she's like, you can't pull up over here. She already said you can't pull up. We gonna pull up to you. Where you at? Like, where you at? You not finna talk to her on the phone. She not about to say shit to you. Like, it's cool. Like, no, she don't want to talk to you. So I'm thinking like, why do he want to talk to me? Either he's homeless and we ain't got nowhere to pull up to for him, and he think he gonna convince me to come to my house. But like, what? I'm just so confused. So she was like, Symone don't fucking want to talk to you. Like, she don't want to say shit to you. Like, you're weird, bro. You're weird as fuck. Like, she just cussing him out and calling him all type of weirdos. So I'm thinking like, what? Girl, I'm like, what? Put it on speaker. I'm telling her, put it on speaker. So she's like, no, I'm not about to put it on speaker. Damn, just out me. So she was like, she don't want to talk to you, bro. You're not pulling up. You're weird as fuck. No, we ain't even finna pull up on you. You're weird. So she like, we ain't even finna pull up on you. You're weird. You're weird as fuck. No, stop calling my phone, bitch. You're a weirdo. Da-da-da. She cussing him out. And I'm just thinking, damn, all because he want to pull up over here. What the fuck? So he was like, nah, fuck you. So she hang up the phone. So I'm like, girl, what the fuck? Like, why'd y'all just get into it? So she was like, he weird as fuck. I ain't even worry about that. Like, let's just go pull up over there. So she like, let me call my baby daddy and see if it's somebody at the house or whatever. Because if not, like, we finna just go pull back up over there. So I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like, you know, that's crazy. I'm like, I'm not spending the night at your cousin's house though. So I'm like, maybe, because I know you don't drive by yourself. So I'm like, if you want your dude, I'm like, yo, dude got a car or whatever. She's like, no, he in a car with somebody. So I was like, if he could get dropped off to you and y'all could drive back to your cousin's house. And she was like, Symone, how would I drive back to my cousin's house with him if he gonna be in the car and my baby daddy is there? I said, have his friend follow y'all, and then you hop in the car with your man and his friend. And then, you know, I'm really just trying to give her an idea, because at this point I don't want to hang out with your man. And I'm like, asking her, why was he weird? She was just like, he just weird. She wouldn't say why he was weird, right? So we end up going back. I end up going with her. We go back to the cousin house, and the baby daddy did have a girl there or whatever. So we go in the house. Once we go in the house, the girl was looking confused, like, what the fuck? Because I guess the girl know that's his baby mama. So she looking so confused, like, what the fuck? So he was like, go in the room. Y'all go in the room. I was like, Ray, you stupid. Give me my fucking keys. Give my keys. Like, why would you take my car? Whole time he was blowing her phone up. He was calling her. He couldn't call me because he don't got my number. So he was calling her or whatever, and he was like, get my car. Like, why would you take my keys? So she was like, my bad, we just had to go do something. Symone had to go do something real quick. Like, my bad. So he was like, yeah, get my keys or whatever. So he's like, yeah, y'all go in a room or something like that. Now her cousin trying to act all shitty towards us. Okay, whatever. So we end up going in the room. I'm just thinking like, this is crazy. Not as just chilling, your baby daddy got somebody out there. Crazy. So anyway, we in the room, we just chilling talking, and then the boy kept calling her, like the one she was dealing with. So he calling her or whatever. She was just like, no, you a weirdo, you a weird bitch, stop calling my phone, da da da, I'm not even at my friend's house no more, we somewhere else and we not about to pull up on you, we don't got the car no more, da 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 da. She just going in on him. So I'm like, why are you so mad? Like, what did he do to you? She's like, nothing, he just weird, he said some weird shit to me or whatever. So I was like, what did he say? Because I'm so confused, like, what did he say to you? So she was not trying to tell me what he said. So eventually her baby daddy ended up like opening the door, and he was like, Rat, come here. So she like, what? Like, what do you want? What do you want? So he was like, bitch, come here. So she was just like, oh my God, okay. She gave me her phone because she, I guess, didn't want him to see her phone or whatever. So she ended up leaving to go with her baby daddy, and they left out the room. And y'all, mind you, listen, the other girl is still here. I'm like, bro, anybody who dealt with that baby daddy of hers is a strong woman. Anyway, so they go do whatever it is that they did together or whatever. I don't know. She left out, right? So while she out, her phone just ringing, and it's the boy. So I'm like, y'all, I'm a little faded or whatever, because when we came back, we started drinking a little bit more. So I don't know why a part of me was about to answer her phone, but I'm like, Symone, don't answer her phone. What the fuck? You don't even know who this is. Like, I'm not about to answer her phone, and they getting into it or whatever. So I'm not answering or whatever. It just kept ringing, kept ringing, kept ringing, kept ringing. So I'm on Instagram or whatever, and I'm just scrolling, and I seen a message pop up from Enemy, and it was like, what you doing? So I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he hitting me up? Like, we spoke this boy up. So I respond back to the message, and I'm just like, nothing, just chilling, like, with my homegirl, what you doing? So he just like, oh, nothing. He was just like, I miss you so much. Like, you be acting so weird now. You don't act like you don't know how to respond to nobody. All this other stuff like that. Like, he just sending me messages. So now we kind of like going back and forth, and I'm like, nah, because every time we try to be cool again, such and such happened. I'm like, you always was like weird. I'm like, there's no hard feelings. Like, you still my friend or whatever. Not my friend, but I don't know, I was lying. I'm like, you still my friend, there's no hard feelings. So he going back and forth, and he was like, I always love you. You're the main person, the only one I really truly love. Da 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 da. You the only person I would stop sniffing that shit for, Symone. You know, the lies. The lies. So anyway, I'm just like, you should stop sniffing that shit for your motherfucking kids, nigga. Anyway, so then we just talking, we going back and forth, literally going back and forth. Eventually, Rat ended up coming back in the room, and I said, girl, when she closed the door, and I was like, what happened? She's like, nothing, he just weird or whatever, like talking about her baby daddy. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm like, girl, you would never guess. I'm like, oh, your phone was ringing, like your boo was calling you. So I'm like, yo, boo was calling you. She was like, did you answer the phone? I'm like, no, why would I answer? She was like, girl, yeah, because I'm not trying to talk to him, I should just block him. So I was like, right. I said, but girl, you would never guess who hit me up. She was like, who hit you up? I said, girl, why Enemy hit me up talking about he missed me, he loved me? I said, we done spoke that nigga up. She's like, what? I'm like, yes, girl, he talking about he missed me, he loved you. She's like, let me see, girl, what the fuck? So she going through the message. She's like, he's so weird. Wow. Girl, you should block him. Mind you, me and him don't follow each other on Instagram. She's like, you should block him. And I'm like, I ain't gonna block him right now or whatever. Like, he ain't doing too much. She's like, he's weird. Like, nah, what the fuck? Like, you should block him. He's weird as fuck for that. Like, why is he hitting you up? He know you moved on. He know you don't want him. He know this. She's like, wait, he said you the only one I'll ever love. What the fuck? He's so weird. And I'm like, right, we just vibing about how weird he is. Y'all, why she go on my phone? She went to his Instagram and she blocked him, right? She's like, he weird. She's like, do he be trying to call you and stuff? I'm like, no, he don't got my number. So she's like, he's so fucking weird. So we just like laughing and talking about that or whatever. And then she ended up like getting on her phone and she like texting her boo or whatever. And I'm just like, dang. So I'm like, can y'all take me home now? Because I'm low key ready to go, right? Like, I'm ready to go. So she was just like, you know what? Let's take the car. Like, let's take the car again. So I was all like, where we finna go now? She was like, we just gonna go pull up on my boo or whatever. Like, we go pull up on him. So I was like, all right, like, you sure? Like, you wanna pull up on him? I'm like, you not mad anymore? She's like, nah, like, you just like amp me up. Like, if anything, we should go just beat him up or whatever. So I'm like, girl, let's go beat him up then. Mind you, I don't know why we finna go beat your dude up. So I'm like, let's go beat him up then. But I'm hoping, like, I hope he ain't got no cute homeboy and he think I'm crazy or nothing like that, because I'm not. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So she was like, we leave out, and she was like, I need to use the car. So he was like, nah, you're not using my car. You're not using my car. What the fuck? But mind you, her cousin is like hugged up with old girl. I don't know why he got his shirt off or whatever. Maybe he was hot. I don't know. So he like hugged up with old girl. Her baby daddy is like hugged up on the other side of the couch with the other girl. They laid up on the couch. They watching movies and shit. Weird. But mind y'all, I just told y'all that Rat just left with her baby daddy out the room. Weird. I'm telling y'all, weird. So anyway, she like, we need to use the car, we need to use the car. And he was all like, nah, y'all not finna use my shit, y'all not finna use my shit. So Rat looked at her baby daddy, she was like, can we use the car? Mind you, he don't have a car. So she's asking him, can she use this girl's car that he's laid up with? And he was like, He looked at her and he was like, hell nah, man, bro, let her use your car. Let her use your car, because she not finna use my bitch car. Like, nah, she ain't finna do that. So he was like, we be right back. I'm like, yeah, we be right back. Like, we literally going right up the street. So he like, man, here, if I need gas, y'all putting gas in it. Like, y'all don't ask me for shit else. And he gave us the keys, y'all. Only time he be mean to us is when other people are around. So we leave out or whatever. She like, we finna go pull up on him. So I'm like, all right. So she hitting him up, asking where he at. He said he at his homeboy house, right? So we driving. I'm like, okay, girl, I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, so what his homeboys look like? They cute. Do they got a car? I know you said your man ain't got no car. Do they got a car? She's like, yeah, they one of them do, whatever. I don't know. She was like, but yeah, we finna go over there. I'm really mad as fuck right now. Like, I'm really so fucking mad. So I'm just like, damn. I'm asking her about the girl her baby daddy's with. I'm like, do you know her or something like that? Because the fuck? She's like, no, I don't know her. Like, I don't know her. She's like, Symone, that don't even matter. Like, I don't know her. So I'm like, okay, y'all. So we driving. Mind you, this situation is listen. So anyway, so we driving and stuff like that. So she was just like, this nigga make me so mad. He's weird. She's like, he's weird as fuck. She's like, because literally the other day, she's like, he needed money for something. She's like, I just gave this nigga some money, like da 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 da. So I'm asking her, I'm like, how did you meet him? Mind you, how you giving him money when you be selling stuff for your baby daddy on the side? She got just too much going on. There's too many people getting handouts. That's why she was broke. So I'm like, how'd you meet him? She's like, I met him when I was out and about, like doing something. Like, I just met him when I was outside. So I was like, oh, okay. That's literally how she said it. Like, she didn't want to tell me how she met him. So I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, when I was doing something, I met him. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, he cool though? She's like, yeah, he cool. But like, he just really irritated me bad tonight. Like, he's so fucking weird. He's so weird. So she ended up calling him when we got closer. She's like, I'm around the corner. I'm about to pull up. Bring your ass outside. Like, come outside. So I guess he was telling her like, he gonna come outside when she get there. Like, he not finna just be sitting outside. So we ended up pulling up to this neighborhood, and I'm like, I've been over here before. She's like, you been over here before? I was, but the way she looked at me when I said I've been over here before, she looked at me like, bitch, what you mean you been over here before? Mind you, this ain't her man's house. This is his homeboy's house. So I'm like, I've been over here before. So she like, you been over here before? I was like, remember when I used to deal with Enemy? I said, he knows somebody that live over here. I'm like, oh, boy did know a lot of people. So I'm like, yo, man probably know him too. I said, oh, I hope that's not the homie for me, because I'm not talking to him. But I'm like, he do be having a lot of people over here. She's like, oh, so you have been over here? I was like, yeah, I've been over here with Enemy before. I'm like, oh my God, so I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Like, I'm kind of getting nervous because I'm like, I don't want to be around his friends. Like, it just so happened I was just talking to Enemy. He was just DMing me talking about he missed me and stuff like that. And mind y'all, I had went and unblocked him when I got my phone back, because I'm like, why the fuck would she block him? But I'm just like, he was just but the conversation was ended. Like, I didn't say nothing back to him. But I'm like, I was just talking to him. Now I'm about to run into, like, we about to be pulled up and his friend is here. Like, I hope the friend is not for me. It's just gonna be like, So anyway, we get out the car and she calling him. She like, where you at? Come outside. Come outside. Might just a whole bunch of dudes. Like, when we walking up, it's a whole bunch of dudes right there. But clearly he ain't one of them, because I'm looking like, okay, which one is her boo? Which one is her boo? So next thing you know, we standing there and she's like, this nigga really just be pissing me off because he's taking a minute to come outside. So the door opened up and the old boy who house it is, who I know who house it is, he come outside. So I'm looking like, that's her dude? Y'all, next thing you know, I hear a voice. I hear Enemy's voice. I said, oh my God, I was so irritated. I said, Enemy here. I'm not trying to see him, because I knew his voice. He had this voice. So I'm like, oh my God, he here. I'm kind of irritated. But I'm like, damn, like, I'm not trying to see him. So I kind of like turn away. I hear him, he loud coming out the house, and he like laughing and saying something to somebody. So then he ended up walking out the house and he was like, you really gonna pull up over here? So I'm like, mind you, when he said that, he walking up to us. He's like, you really gonna pull up over here? So I said, boy, ain't nobody pull up over here for you. I didn't even know you would have been here. I'm with my homegirl. Why when I said that to him, he was like, because mind you, when he's saying this, me and Rat is standing right here. He's walking up to us, and I was like, boy, ain't nobody pull up over here for you. I was like, I'm with my homegirl. He was like, yeah. So then he walking up to me smiling, biggest smile on his face, and he hugged me. Rat gonna say, so you really gonna act like I'm not just standing here? Mind you, when he walking up, his homeboy walked up too, and they both like stopped in front of us, and Enemy hugged me. So she's like, you really gonna act like I'm not just standing here? So I'm looking, and I'm like, hold on, she looking at Enemy. She not looking at his homeboy. So he was just like looking at her. He was like, man, you fucking irritated. Like, you weird for that. You weird as fuck for this. Like, you so weird for this. So I'm like, hold on. What's going on? I'm like, wait. She was like, You weird. Like, you so fucking weird. Like, you really want to play with me tonight? Like, you really want to just sit here and play with me? So I was like, Rat, who is you talking to? Because now I'm kind of confused. Cause I'm like, the homeboy is smiling, big smile on his face, laughing, not saying shit. And Enemy just kept saying, you weird for that. So I'm like, Rat, who is you talking to? Because I'm concerned now. Y'all, tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me the fuck why. Y'all take a lucky guess who the y'all think Rat was talking to. Rat was talking to Enemy. Rat was talking to Enemy. I said, I don't know, I just had a big smile just came across my face, like the biggest smile ever, and I started laughing. I said, wait, y'all fucking? I'm like, wait, y'all fucking? I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. And I'm just laughing. I'm just dying laughing because it's like I was kind of feeling away, but then at the same time, I'm like, I really don't care. I don't know, it was something in my body that was like, I don't care. I'm dealing with somebody better anyway. Not better at all. Just only thing better he had going on was a car and some money for himself. But I'm just laughing. I'm just like, that's so fucking crazy. That's crazy. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Y'all fuck with each other. And he was like, Symone, I was telling her to put you on the phone because I wanted to talk to you myself and da-da-da-da-da. She's like, you all in her DM and talk about you miss her, you love her, da-da-da-da-da, all this other stuff. And he like, man, like, bitch, you're weird as fuck. You're weird as fuck, bitch. Like, and he calling her all type of B words because let me stop saying too much. So he just calling her all type of B words and like, you're weird as fuck. You're weird. Get the fuck from over here. Like, get it from over here. I'm not worried about that. Like, that's y'all. I said, y'all do y'all. I'm not worried. Ain't nobody worried about you. I was like, I got a boyfriend. So he was like, if you got a boyfriend, then why are you here with me? Nigga, I'm not here with you. Literally, I didn't even know you was gonna be here. So he was like, you got a boyfriend, why are you here with me? So I'm like, y'all, it's weird. I'm laughing. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, that's so crazy. And now I'm over here texting crazy, like, what you doing? And don't you hate when a bad situation make you text the worst person? So I'm like, that's crazy. But I'm just laughing. Like, I didn't feel no type of way about this. I don't know why I didn't feel no way. And it's probably because I had a lot of other random ass horrible shit going on in my life. So I was just really like, But I don't know, it was so weird. And I was just laughing. She like getting into it with him. He cussing her out, calling her all type of weirdos. You're weird, why would you bring her here, da-da-da-da-da, you're weird, you should have let me talk to her. But my thing is, Enemy, when you just was DMing me, you could have told me. I don't know if he knew that I knew. I think he maybe knew that I knew, but clearly he see like I did not know. So I feel like that's why he probably was like mad. I don't know, it's weird. Like, how you playing me and trying to backdoor me for a crackhead? Like, girl, bye. So anyway, so they just like going back and forth. He cussing her out, she start crying or whatever. And I'm just like, how embarrassing. Why'd you bring me here? Like, I was just so confusion. Like, why am I here? So anyway, he ended up cussing her out, calling her type of weirdo, stuff like that. And I'm just like, girl, I'm ready to go. Like, I ain't trying to be right here no more. So she's like, you're weird as fuck, da-da-da-da. She getting into it with him, and we ended up leaving. And she in the car is kind of quiet. And I'm not saying nothing. I'm just on my phone, playing music on the aux. Literally, I'm not saying shit to her. It wasn't like pressed, but it was like funny to me. But I wasn't tripping. But then later, when me and her fell out, when she did what she did with Crazy, that's when I was just like, this bitch hates me. And then I know y'all like, but then your dumb ass went to her kid's party where she tried to have the whole party jump you. And then that was your final straw. Bro, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. It's clearly dumb. Anyway, but I was just like, it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. But then I realized, you know, you start to analyze situation, you realize like, wow, this girl hates me. It's like, you hated me, girl, she hated me. That's crazy. But anyway, that's it for this story time, you guys. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you on my next one. Peace out.